The workshop felt different the next morning. The wires we left yesterday still sat on the bench in the last episode. Harris introduced us to the invisible forces of electricity. Voltage, current, resistance ohms, law carved itself into our notebooks and our nerves. We learned that open meant silence, closed meant danger, and short circuits meant fire. Harris's warning echoed. Electricity is invisible. It lies. Always waits for your mistake. Now he promised that circuits themselves could deceive us, showing dead when alive, safe when lethal. Today we would see sparks, and sparks never whisper. The lamp bulb quiet, the multimeter resting like a weapon waiting to be drawn. Harris's boots echoed as he walked in, his face unreadable. Yesterday you learned the words, he said. Voltage, current, resistance. Today you learned the lies. Circuits lie. They pretend to be safe. They pretend to be dead. Believe them, and you burn. My stomach tightened. Maria groaned softly beside me. First question, Harris snapped. What is an open circuit? No path for current, I answered quickly. And closed circuit? Complete path, current flows? And short circuit. Maria rolled her eyes. Evil shortcut. Harris didn't smile. Correct. And shortcuts end in fire. Pointed to the breaker panel. Maria energized the lamp circuit. She flipped the breaker. The bulb glowed faintly. Harris's eyes narrowed. Jon, measure the voltage. I touched the probes carefully. 2 volts. Good, Maria. Open the switch. She did. The bulb went dark. Jon, measure again. The meter still showed voltage. My breath caught. But the switch is open, I said. Circuits lie, Harris barked. Phantom voltage. Induction from neighboring wires. You think it is dead? You touch, you die. What is the rule? Test before touch, I said. Louder. Test before touch. Maria added weakly. Test before touch. Harris pulled another wire set, connecting them roughly. Sparks snapped as he touched them. Maria jumped back. What did you just see? Harris asked. Short circuit, I said. And what happens to current in a short? Path of least resistance. Unlimited flow. And what stops it? Breaker or fuse, I answered. And if breaker is oversized? Maria frowned. Then the wire melts before the breaker trips. Correct? And melted wire becomes fire. Older Jon, narrating. Years later, I saw a panel where a contractor had installed 30 amp breakers on 14-gauge wire. The wires overheated silently for months. One morning, smoke curled from the walls. Fire inspectors called it negligence. I called it arrogance. Harris set up a demo with 3 small wires in series. Maria, what happens when resistance is too high? Less current? Correct. But what else? Voltage drop, I said. And what does voltage drop cause? Dim lights? Overheated motors? Failures? Good. And what happens when resistance is too low? Maria groaned. Short circuit, fire. Yes, Harris said. He handed us gloves and safety glasses. PPE. Why? So sparks don't blind us, I muttered. Not just sparks, Harris said. Arc flash. Temperature hotter than the sun's surface. One mistake and your clothes ignite, Maria muttered. I hate the sun already. I tested circuits with the multimeter. Harris fired questions. What does continuity test show? Whether a path exists. What if continuity shows but breaker is off? The path is there, but no power. And what if continuity fails? Open circuit. And if resistance is near 0? Short. The lamp flickered as Maria tested another outlet. She frowned. It's glowing weird. Loose connection, Harris said. And what does loose connection create? Heat, I answered. And what does heat create? Fire, Maria groaned. I hate fire. Fire hates nothing, Harris replied. Older Jon, narrating. I once saw a factory floor dim with flickering lights. The crew ignored it for weeks. One day a junction box burst in flames. A loose neutral had cooked in silence. Lights don't flicker for beauty. They flicker for warning. The lesson dragged. Sweat built on my forehead as Harris drilled us. What unit is power? Watts. How do you calculate power? P equals V times I. What happens when current doubles, power doubles, and when resistance halves? Current doubles. And when you forget? Failure, fire, Maria muttered. The bulb glowed steady at the end. Harris closed his notebook. Circuits lie. They flicker, they whisper, they trick. But fire never lies. Tomorrow you will meet real sparks. And sparks do not whisper. They shout. Maria whispered, I'm not coming tomorrow, you will. Harris said coldly. Coming up next, Episode 9. Test before touch. The rule written in fire.